Alrighty then, friends, let's get started here. I am Marty in Disguise, and we will be starting a new YouTube channel. Wow, I am already messing this up. It's kind of embarrassing. But we're going to get started on this YouTube channel. It is here to kind of share my knowledge of cars and whatnot to you guys, to my fans, my followers, my friends, my family, whatever you guys want to be. So you will see one of three main vehicles on this YouTube channel. The first one that you'll probably see the most of, ooh, let's go over there and we'll take a quick peek at that car. This is my newest car, my newest addition to the family, you know. Tell you right now, it is a Chevy, not my forte, but hey, it gets me to point A to point B about 80% of the time. Well, I'll say about 92%. But it is the Nova Scotia, good old Nova Scotia. Look at that side view, look at that. She is there. Oh, there you go. Look at that nice little side 4-door. She is an 87 Nova Scotia. Nice little car. Gets me to A to B, 90% of the time. It's left me stranded twice now, but it's okay because in the future videos to come, if that does happen again, you guys will be there to see how I fix it and how I react. Well, the second vehicle. This is the first vehicle I've ever owned, actually, because I was driving around my parents' truck. They gave me a truck when I turned 16. I got my license, and I decided I wanted to own a motorcycle. So here she is. It's an 07 Kawasaki Vulcan. Oh, sorry, that's an 08. That's an 08 Kawasaki Vulcan. She is under construction right now. I've been just kind of playing around there, taking things off, putting things on, seeing how I want her to look. But there is the little introduction to that one. And now for my first forever car that I bought. She is a beauty. She is the friend I never had, the best friend I never had. She's always there for me. Never has given me really major headaches, but here she is. It is an 07 Mustang GT. She is my baby girl. She is the first car I ever decided to buy. Yeah, those are the three cars you'll be seeing the most of. Probably the Nova Scotia is going to be the most you see. Red Lightning here, you'll probably won't see too often because, well, when I upgrade her, it's pretty pricey. Let me tell you that. I got some things in the works, but it won't be for a couple years because, man, is she pricey. But the Nova Scotia, she's pricey too, but it's because every week she's in the garage getting something fixed, getting something done to her. My next video will probably be struts on the Nova Scotia. But today we're coming at you with the most basic thing that I think every driver should know, and the one thing I have heard that a lot of people don't know how to do is a tire change. Let's say you're driving down the road and all of a sudden your tire blows. You got to get that spare out. You got to know how to do it. And from what I understand, not everybody knows how to do it. So we are coming here with Red Lightning. We got a rear tire here, so we're taking off that rear tire. Three basic tools you're gonna need. That is, let's see here. There's your jack. That's a car jack. So I really, be honest with you right now, I really dislike using these kind of jacks, but I'm gonna show you guys because this is what you would use if you're stuck in the middle of the road with a blown tire. And you got to put that spare on. So I'll show you guys how to use that. But then another tool you will need is your tire iron. Again, that will most likely be with your car, and well, it could be one of two spots. It's gonna be in the trunk, underneath the mat in the trunk. It'll be your spare and your tire iron and your jack. Or some vehicles I've noticed are under the back seat of the car or truck. So we'll get started here. First thing I want to show you guys is that position of the jack. So if we look under here, we will look up close here. Right here. Oh, you see that line right here? Right there. That line that it's got hooked on. That's called a pinch weld. So that pinch weld, there you go, that's better. So right there, that line right there, that's called a pinch weld. That's where you're going to want to line up your jack. That's going to be the sturdiest part. See, mine even has a little hole here where that goes. If you don't know where that is or where your lift points are on your car, the manual in the car will tell you. I do believe, let's take a peek here. Actually, let's look together because I want to make sure you guys are getting the right information. All the information that I could possibly share to you. I want to make sure you guys are getting. So let's pull up a little manual here. Pretend like I don't know where it is. Say you guys blow a tire in the middle of the road and now you guys are like, oh, where's my lift points? Where's my lift points? I don't know. Well, let's take a peek-see here. So I am getting... Let's see if I can do this. It's very difficult because I'm outside in the cold because the Mustang sits out in the cold. Got the owner's manual here. Right away, let's open that first page and table of contents. Got the instructions. We look at it here. Man, changing tires, 182. So we look at that table of contents, 182. We'll go to 182. Oh, sorry guys. I do like to just kind of randomly sing like that, randomly make some noises like that. If you don't like that, let me know. I'll stop that. Hit me up in the comment section if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns. Maybe you don't like what I'm doing. Maybe you really... Oh, look. So, if you look at here, shows you just that right there. Do not lift by the differential. Shows you where to lift that. Tells you, you know, where your spare is. Where that jack is in the trunk. So, you just got to look at that. Look through there. Look through the manual. And if you just want to know, like, for future reference, by all means, try to understand those kind of things before you get in the emergency. Because when you're in the emergency already, it's going to be too late. I'll be honest with you. I've been there. You're stuck on the side of the road. You have no idea what to do. You're not going to be thinking straight. So know your car before you get in that emergency situation. Okay, so going back to this tire exchange. So our tire change. We got the jack in the position. We have not lifted it yet. The reason we haven't lifted it is because we have to break the lug nuts free. So with the tire iron, all it means is to loosen the lug nuts. Don't take them off all the way while it's still sitting on the tire, but loosen them. What I also recommend, and I have here already, is putting like a block of wood, a rock, anything you have really, because if it's an emergency, you want to block your wheels so that way when you're lifting this back here, it doesn't roll forward or back off the jack. Tell you from personal experience, it's happened to me twice now. It is not a fun time. The first time it happened to me, I was a college kid, just kind of doing I was messing around with my truck. It was the first truck was a 94 truck that I owned, and I was like, well, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that there. But it was a truck that I owned, and lifted the back. I remember two of my friends were watching me, helping me out. I was doing a brake job. Lifted the back of the truck. Forgot to block the wheels. Wasn't thinking. Realized, hey, I'm on a hill. I am under the truck at this point. Just lying under there, lifting it up, and then I realized I'm on a hill. I look to the front tire. It starts rolling. Thing landed right on top of me. But luckily enough, I'm pretty skinny guy. The truck was inches from my face. I thought I was gonna die. I was so scared. So I learned my lesson. But then it happened again recently, and I was so angry at myself because I blocked the wrong side of the wheel. Like, what? But anyways, that's a lesson I learned. Block both sides. So looking at this, great tire iron. When you're doing this, you want to break them free, all 5. Oh, I have 5. Some cars have 4, some have 6, some have 8. Who knows what you're working on? This one has 5. So lefty loosey, righty tighty. When you're looking at it, think of a clock. You know, clockwise you tighten them, counterclockwise you loosen them. So we'll go with the tire iron here. Just boom, right there. 1. Not even, you don't even have to go a full turn, just enough to break it free. once you get them broken free, trust me, this is a lot more pressure than I'm actually showing, but they're pretty tight on there. And you want them tight because when you're going down the road, it's the last thing you want is for those to give out, and next thing you know, your tire's flying past you. I've never had that happen, but I've been told that it has happened to, well, my dad told me a story of it happened to him once, and you see those videos all the time on YouTube. Well, I don't know if you guys do, but I do. So see those videos all the time on YouTube of people just cruising along. Next thing you know, their tires flying past them. So what I'm getting here, guys, is I don't have the right tool for this jack that I have. I'm using the Nova jack, mainly because I really didn't want to get the spare out of the Mustang here, because, well, it was a pain. It's kind of like, it's right up against there. I really don't want to scratch the Mustang, nothing like that. But I'm using the Nova jack because that's what I had available to me at the time. Normally, I wasn't showing you guys what I'm doing. I would have used a floor jack. Much easier. You lift it right from the frame point, a reference point. Lifts the whole back. Take it off. Boom. Good to go. But with this one, alas, just using a screwdriver. I'm just lifting it up. So we're going to lift it up to the point where the tire can freely spin. So I'll show you guys. Well, this one may not spin because it is a rear wheel drive. So that transmission is going to be locked up because it's in park. So maybe it won't spin. Maybe it will. We'll find out. But either way, you want it enough so the tire can easily come off. Now, typically what I would recommend is only going enough to get that tire off. But because I'm changing this tire from a 17-inch rim to an 18-inch rim, I just need a little more clearance on the floor, or on the ground, I mean, so that way I can get that other tire in there. This is not going to my liking. I feel like that's leaning back. I'm on a hill, but I did block my wheels, so hopefully it doesn't roll. This is the one thing I don't like about using these jacks, is they are so hard to turn. But again, doing this for you guys, my viewers, my fans, my lovely fans, because yeah, if you guys are stuck in an emergency, this is what you'll have to use to get out of that emergency. You have to use a jack like this, and it's a fun time. As you can see, I'm really breathing hard. I am exerting all the force I possibly can do, and also because I'm using a screwdriver. That in itself is a bad idea. Use the right tools when you have this kind of jack. But granted, the Nova, being so old, 32 years old, doesn't have all the right tools. So honestly, if I was doing this with the Nova, this is what I probably would be doing too, without an emergency. Alright guys, so we got it off the ground here. I can easily slide this underneath there. Oh, maybe you can see that. There you go. Easily slide that underneath. We're going to call it good. So at this point, you take your tire iron. Ooh, let's twist you just a little more so you can see it a little more. You take your tire iron, you just pop the rest of these guys off. Me though, because it's not an emergency and I want to speed this video along a little bit so you guys aren't just watching me spin some lug nuts off, I got a breaker bar. So we're just going to take these right off. Granted, at this point, you probably could just spin them by hand. You don't need any tool. But I want to do this because the way these sit in the tire in here, it's kind of hard to grab them. So I'll just go like this. Makes it easier. Also, the reason I would use a breaker bar over a tire iron is because a breaker bar is just a tad bit longer, and it's meant to break things free. You know, that's why it's called a breaker bar. A little more torsion, a little more oomph to it. Oomph. How do I say oomph? Yeah, I'm going to use that word. A little more oomph to it, so that way you can break them free easier. So, yeah, that's why I would use this. Typically, at this point, though, I would honestly use a... Oh, let me explain what I'm doing here. So I'm pushing up against the tire, Because I can see it wants to come off. So I'm pushing up. That way, it's not pushing up against that lug nut and then messing up the threads on there. If you mess up those threads, you're going to have to replace your studs. Don't want to do that. But yeah, comes right off. So let's see, this is the blown one. You can see that it's been sitting for a little while. I might have to just like move her a foot or two just so that way I can get her not to sit in the same spot, you know. But that's how you take it off. Let's say that was a blown tire. Now I'm gonna go get my spare tire. So if you guys want to just wait about 30 seconds here, I'll be right back. And I'm back. So this is my spare tire. Yep, that's right. We are doing an upgrade. You guys will see those those pictures to come right up on the old Instagram. I'll see if I'll figure out how to put that in the description below to the side. I don't know, one of those. I'll put it in the description. That way, if you guys want to go and subscribe to my, or not subscribe to my, but follow my Instagram, Red Lightning. Yeah, it's an Instagram just for my car there. Hey, put the new one on. Put the old lug nuts back right on there. So typically, again, right by hand. But again, since these sit in so deeply, it's kind of hard to do that. And these should easily spin. If you get caught up, like if it's hard to put on, you're probably cross-threading them. You don't want to do that. If you cross-thread them, you're going to have to replace your studs. That would not be a fun time. So we're putting these guys back on. So again, if you're in an emergency, just put those wheels back on, get that spare on there. Quick tip on a spare. I've seen too many people riding around with spares. It pains me, but a spare, if it's smaller than your original size tire, a lot of them are just like little 14-inch tires, little 13-inch tires, or even like 12-inch tires. They're tiny. They're called donuts. They're not meant to be driven around for more than 50 miles. So you're gonna want to go either straight home to get a new tire, take that tire off and get it replaced at the body shop you go to or the mechanic you go to, have them put a new tire on there and put that new tire back on there, or to go straight to the body shop, straight to your mechanic. Don't risk it, guys. I'm telling you, spares are meant for emergencies. That's what they're for. You know, they're not meant for long trips or anything like that, or daily use. Get these tight on there. Quick tip though, when you're doing tire, you want to do in a star pattern. So I go from right here, this top one, down to like that, and you just make a little star. That's what you want to do, so that way they tighten properly. So typically at this point, a mechanic will get his torque wrench and torque them to spec, meaning to the right foot-pounds of pressure. Me, I don't have one of those. Typically, the homegrown mechanic won't have one of those because we aren't that rich. You know, those are pretty expensive. I think my dad has one, but I'm just not gonna get it out. So what I'm gonna do is 2 Ugga Dugga. So that's 1 Ugga Dugga, 2 Ugga Dugga, and then just kind of like, you know, when you're doing the hold on, Ugga Dugga. I probably have a lot of car people just kind of grimaced at that, because it's not what you should be doing, guys. Don't be lazy. I'm being lazy right now because I'm not using these lug nuts when I drive the Mustang. I'm gonna replace them, so I know better. But again, going that star pattern, I like to do all 5 of them twice, just because it's the thing keeping them on there. And I'm showing you guys how to do it, so you know, do that, and just like that, you got your new tire on there. Emergency averted. And then you just take this down. And this is, again, one of the worst parts, is this darn jack. Gotta go backwards now. Lower that jack down. Slowly but surely. we'll lower that jack down. It's a little easier because you have gravity going with you instead of against you. But lower that jack down and you are good to go. You're ready to move on to that new place once you get that spare. With that, this is also a good chance to say if you want to do this on your own. Tire rotations, I recommend doing those on your own because they cost a pretty penny sometimes at dealerships and whatnot. And I'll show that in a future video how to just do that. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that, I think that's how they say it, right? All those YouTubers, like and subscribe and hit that ring button so you see my notifications. I am a part-time mechanic, you know, working on my own stuff, doing that. So I will try my best to reply to everyone's comments, questions, concerns. If you have any...